Well, Daredevil fans, we are one day away from Daredevil Born Again hitting Disney+. And to celebrate, I will now be reviewing Season 2 of Daredevil. So, let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to talk about in this review is the story for Season 2. Now, the story compared to Season 1 is a little downgraded, and I really can't explain why, but it just doesn't feel as good as the story was for Season 1. Maybe because we usually like it when our heroes are more street level, they don't have like the fancy tech because that gives them more of a problem, but in Season 2, Daredevil has his comic book accurate suit, so he has more of an advantage over the people he fights, especially the Punisher, when in Season 1, he was just as vulnerable to attack and injury as normal humans were. So by giving Daredevil the suit in Season 2, it kind of dehumanizes him and kind of makes him a little more unstoppable, because like Melvin Porter said, who created the suit for Daredevil, he said that it was knife proof, it was bulletproof, stuff like that, so it kind of makes Daredevil a little more unstoppable. But the story is overall not bad at all, really. You know, it has its problems, but there's more really good than bad. Of course, it's nowhere near as good as Season 1, but it definitely comes close to beating that, or at least comes close to being as good as Season 1's story. So the next thing I want to talk about is the action sequences in Season 2. Now, I could definitely say Season 2's action sequences are probably the best of the series in general. Due to, of course, the Punisher being in this season, he just provides so much action, especially when him and Daredevil throw down more than once in this season. It is so awesome to see these two comic book characters fight, and entertaining as well. But yeah, not just their fight, like the little scuffle we get with Wilson Fisk and the Punisher, that's also a really good fight. But yeah, overall, man, this season just holds the better action sequences compared to Season 1. And a big part of that does definitely come from what the Punisher does, especially in that crazy prison scene that he has where he's like destroying literally everybody. But yeah, the action sequences in this season are golden, and one of the best things about this season in general, when we're not talking story. So now that the action and the story is out of the way, I want to talk about the character of Daredevil. The reason I'm actually even covering his character this time in the first place is because of the awesome suit upgrade he gets. Now, as much as the suit definitely downgrades the quality of the character himself, the suit is amazing. And honestly, I know it's going to be way better in the Daredevil Born Again television series, but for the show's time, for Season 2's time, which was like 2016, this suit was really well done. It did look straight out of the comics, really, except just a darker shade of red. But yeah, the suit was really amazing, and all the action sequences that we got alongside the suit were also really amazing. And the character of Daredevil himself this season is just awesome and entertaining, and Charlie Cox really does an amazing job as Daredevil, and he proves it here even more than he did in Season 1. So now I want to talk about actually one of my favorite characters of the Marvel Universe itself, Stick. Stick is a really awesome character portrayed by Scott Glenn, and the reason I actually did not mention him in my Season 1 review, because he was in one of the episodes, he was in episode 7 of Daredevil, is he didn't really play that much of a major role in Season 1, but in Season 2, Stick plays a bigger role this time around, especially in Daredevil's attempts to destroy the Hand once and for all, which actually brings back Nobu. But right now I'm talking about the character of Stick. We'll talk about Nobu later. Stick is a very entertaining character. All of his action sequences are very well done and well written. His dialogue scenes with other characters where he's interacting with Matt and Elektra are also really well done. And yeah, he makes for an amazing character. And I do wish they did not end up killing him off, but they did it in a fantastic way in the Defenders. So that's kind of a great way to wrap up his story. But yeah, I really do like the character of Stick. He's one of my favorite characters in this show. So now the next thing I want to talk about is something that I just said I was going to talk about, the Hand. The Hand is actually awesome villains, a set of awesome villains led by none other than Nobu. Nobu is alive, and that is crazy and very unexpected. I remember the first time I watched this show and he was like coming back to life, and I was like, what? Because this was my first time watching it. Of course, I didn't know, but now I do, looking back on it, and it was so awesome to see him again, and especially his fight scenes with Daredevil. Those were awesome because we really got to see like the skill in both fighters even more this time around. And Daredevil still got his butt whooped, but he didn't almost die this time. But yeah, Nobu was really awesome to see alongside the Hand, which those villains made for a really entertaining part of this season. So now I want to talk about the character of Elektra. Now, Elektra is the love interest for Daredevil, who actually returns to destroy the Hand in Hell's Kitchen, and of course seeks out Matt Murdock's help for it. And honestly, in this season, she was a good character, but I'm personally not really the biggest fan of Elektra, but she is overall a really well done character, well portrayed, and her action sequences with other characters are really well done, and it is a big reveal when she is the leader of the Hand. And yeah, really short like part of the video dedicated to the character of Elektra, because there's really not much to say. She's a great character. I really like her and how they portrayed her character in this show. And yeah, that basically wraps it up. And now I want to talk about the Punisher. Now, the Punisher, played by Jon Bernthal, one of my favorite actors of all time. Jon Bernthal in this is perfect for the role of the Punisher. He was so perfect that he got a spin-off that lasted for 2 seasons, which is a fantastic show. But as for his role in Daredevil season 2, it was so well done. Jon Bernthal played him perfectly, played him chillingly, and he was kind of like the Terminator a little bit in this season. And his action scenes with Daredevil were really entertaining, and his fight scene with Wilson Fisk was entertaining, and he was kind of the villain of this season, and I really did like that, because also he's kind of an anti-hero that was placed as the villain for this season, because Wilson Fisk kind of took a back seat, but we'll get to him a little later into this video, aka literally like probably a minute from now. But yeah, overall, I really did like Jon Bernthal's portrayal of the Punisher, and I cannot wait to see what they do with his character in Daredevil Born Again. So now I want to talk about our side villain who got really sidelined in this season, Wilson Fisk, who was actually in prison, but like I feel like he owned the prison in season 2. He was getting like steak dinners and stuff, other things that the inmates couldn't get, and his, of course, infamous fight or little scuffle with the Punisher. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio came back and did a really well done performance for season 2. But there's not really much to break down with this character this time around, so this is where I end that segment. So with everything now out the way, this is my conclusion. Overall, it is a really good season. It is still a dip in quality just a little bit from season 1, but I named all those reasons at the beginning of the video, and I'm not renaming them. But overall, it was an entertaining season. It was perfect in between season 1 and season 3. So honestly, that's this review. Bye guys.